thieves attempt a massive heist against the U.S. Treasury as a Category 5 hurricane approaches one of the mint factories. Spoilers alert. Watch out, stay tuned as we dive into another 2018 movie fiesta magic of Rob Cohen titled, The Hurricane Heist. The movie opens up in a truck with two brothers Breeze, Will and their dad driving out of town to escape an incoming storm. The boys argue and their dad almost hits a tree trying to separate the two. The car goes off the road track and gets stuck in a farm field. The man leaves the children in a desolated house and gets back to the field trying to get the truck running again. A few moments later the storm hits and the foundation of the house where the boys are in starts shaking vigorously, shattering it to pieces and flying into the sky. The father, in an attempt to rush back to the boys and rescue them, gets crushed by a running tank. The boys survive the storm. Many years later, Will, who now works as a meteorologist for the National Weather Service, is sending field data from his childhood town using drones to his headquarters. There is an incoming Category 5 hurricane that is about to hit the town. Officer Dixon, the town sheriff, gives a word of encouragement to his subordinates, asking them to ensure the smooth evacuation of the town locals because of an emergency call received from the weather station. The sudden evacuation of the town causes panic and lots of traffic on the main road leading into the town. Agent Case and Perkins, Federal Reserve agents, are returning piles of old dollar bills carried in 3 trucks to the mint factory for recycling. Perkins in the truck quotes a poetry slant and tells Casey he migrated to the States as a kid from Ireland, disproving Casey's beliefs of thinking she knew everything about him with the years spent together. Frustrated by the traffic, Casey, who is in charge of the operation, switches seats with Perkins and drives through a tobacco farm field, creating a path for her and her crew to pass. Perkins thinks Casey is psychiatric. Somewhere in town, a group of unidentified men, Keith, Xander, Jackie, hack a satellite tower, bringing down the phone network connection in the area. Will, who is aware of the intensity of the incoming storm, suggests to his superiors to send the National Guard to the site for swift evacuation before heading to his brother Will, whom he presumes out of stubbornness will not evacuate from his home. Casey and her crew arrive at the Treasury facility heavily guarded by military officers. Perkins and Casey check in the load of money while talking about their likes and dislikes in old cash. Casey asks an officer on duty why the load of money she left behind hasn't been shredded yet. He tells her the shredding machine has been malfunctioning since she left. The load of money is piled up in the vault to be shredded later. The vault can only be accessed by an iPad and Casey's biometric eye recognition password. The head of the facility, Moreno, employs a software engineer couple, Sasha and Frears, to check into the shredding machine malfunction. They later turn out to be hackers and shut down the power system of the building, and it equally has backup power. Casey and Randy have no-cell network and can't call in the repairer for this problem. Casey sets out to bring in the repairer for the backup power generator and gets suspicious of the software couple. She hides the iPad in a pile of shredded money before heading out. Will arrives at Breeze's place and meets him sleeping despite the evacuation warning. He teases him with military and slot-like jokes. The two brothers don't get so well since the death of their father. After being reluctant, Breeze agrees to leave the area on one condition, that Will board up his windows first. The unidentified group of individuals arrive at the mint facility and claim they received a call from Moreno concerning phone connection issues in an attempt to heist the facility. Keith and his men suddenly attack the officers on patrol with sleeping guns from the outside, crashing their van into the facility. Perkins, who happens to be the mastermind of the heist, turns on his colleagues and starts shooting them with a sleeping gun. He gains access to the bulletproof control room with the help of Sasha and Frears. Perkins forces Moreno at gunpoint to open the vault. It turns out he can't because Casey had earlier overridden the password to the vault and only she can have access to it. Casey arrives at Breeze's resident, who happens to be the repairer, and asks for his services. The two-party leave Will behind, who is busy mounting up the Windows board. On arriving at the facility, Agent Casey notices no soldier on guard and gets into a gunfight with Perkins's men. She escapes the scene with Breese's help. Runs into the streets as the men pursue her, exchanging shots trying to apprehend her. Will, done with the windows and moving out of town, notices a gang pursuing Casey with no sight of his brother Breese, who departed with her moments earlier. He saves her, using his upgraded bulletproof car. The Dominator is a car designed to withstand storms and hurricanes. Not wanting to let his brother die, Will set out with Casey to save his brother. Perkin needs Breese to turn on the backup power supply. Casey and Will go to Dixon, the local sheriff, for help, but he turns out to be working for Perkins as well. With a gun pointed at them, they miraculously escape from Dixon. Xander picks up Dixon and they chase down Will and Casey through the street. Will maneuvers his upgraded car, and they successfully crash Dixon's and Xander. The two men are in a bad condition. Perkin and Jackie come for their backing to capture Casey. Breese tries to break free hostages held by Perkin and is caught in the process. Perkin's hackers need a standby satellite stand to hack and override Casey's password. Casey, with things in mind, destroys the last satellite stand in the area with Will's help. Jackie dies in a crossfire between Casey and her crew. Will uses the raging storm to his advantage and kills Xander by desperately shooting sharp car wheels cover. Keith is angry about the death of his brother Xander. Dixon, who wants all the money to himself, with his police crew, snitches on Perkins, the mastermind of the heist. Perkins kills Dixon on the spot and breaks an agreement with the remaining men in the room, promising them $20 million each after the heist. Casey calls Perkin using the radio phone she got from the Dixon crash and streaks a bargain, asking him to release two hostages, Moreno and Breese, for her to come in. Perkin sends his new crew, the police officers, to do the exchange. Will uses his meteorologist knowledge and sets a trap for the officer, which gets them flying into a storm through an open roof. Casey and Will take refuge in a house the presumed Breese, who may have escaped from the confusion earlier, will be. Perkins' men locate and track them down with the lights of the Dominator car. The storm causes an enormous flood to sweep everyone in the house just before Perkin and his men raid the building. Casey gets taken by Perkins, and Breese, who happened to have survived the hurricane previously, comes on a boat and rescues his brother stranded on the Dominator. Back at the facility, Casey's resistance caused Perkins to threaten to shred open Moreno. She complies, and as soon as the vault is open, Perkins shoots Moreno in retribution for Jackie and Xander's death. With the military code of no man left behind, Will and his brother set out to rescue Casey, boarded on a truck carrying the money. The two brothers share an emotional moment in their rescue van, apologize for their wrongs in the past, and harden their brotherly bond. The men ride out the facility with 3 trucks, Perkins being in front, Sasha and Freer in the rear, and Casey accompanied by Keith and a cop in the middle. Freer gets distracted by Sasha's sexual desires, and the two brothers successfully board their truck and soon take over it. Keith, driven with rage, gets into a brawl with Casey. She effortlessly turns his gun and shoots the driver before killing him moments later. Will hops on the truck and takes over the wheel. The two brothers, using football strategies learned from childhood, corner and block Perkins' truck in the position wherein his truck is picked up by the storm, flying up, and then crashing down. Breese's truck gets on fire and he hops on Will's just in time before the storm picks it up as well. The movie ends as the team of 3 with a truck loaded with $200 million in cash gets teased by Casey, that suggests they head to Mexico, and the brothers jokingly agree. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more content like this. Comment a movie you will like to see a recap on.